What is up, everyone? Welcome to episode 91 of the Gaming Duo podcast. I'm Kelvin, the Kevlar Vest, your host for this week, and I'm joined by co-host Rob, the Robot. If you're new to the show, welcome. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. We are the podcast that discusses the latest gaming news each and every Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Rob, it's been a minute. How you been?
Glad to have you back on the show, buddy.
Thank you. Glad to
been
be
a while.
back.
Thank you, Benj, for last week. I really appreciate you for
sure.
stepping in. We had lots of good convos. We talked about Call of Duty and a new Pokemon called Wiglet. That sounds not right, but
Honestly, they've been on a roll with the names for the Pokemon, to be honest,
They
in
have
my
been.
opinion. So I'm all for the Wiglet, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's been a rough ride for me at this point, but I'm still kicking, I'm still moving, I'm still here, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
yeah, we got to talk about games. You got to get that fix.
Yeah, I got to get that fixed for sure. So, guys, if you want to support us, you could definitely do so by heading on over to your favorite Steam streaming platform like Apple, Spotify, or by going to thegamingduopod.com. Leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing. You can also support us on patreon.com/thegamingduo. You'll be able to have access to our exclusive Discord channel, exclusive gear, all that good stuff. Check it out at patreon.com/thegamingduo. Rob, how you been? What you been playing?
Playing a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So first off, I finally got stuff running on my Steam Deck. It's for emulation.
Okay.
And I am playing Shadow Hearts 2.
Okay. All right.
I'm having a blast.
You loved Shadow Hearts back in the day. I remember.
It's aged very well.
Has it?
It's aged
Interesting.
incredibly. That battle system, I'm surprised they don't have it more, like the little clock spinning thing. Yeah, it makes it more immersive. It's awesome, and it's funny. It's a funny game. Like the voice actors knocked it out of the park. Now, the voice syncing is different. It's not as good. But
Sure.
the voice actors, like you can, like I forgot, Yuri was like a sarcastic asshole. It was.
Was he?
Yeah.
Now you're
Great
playing the
game.
first one because I remember vaguely the first one, but I remember vividly the second one. I remember the second one being way better than the first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then the third one was good, but it wasn't as good as the second one. Shadow Hearts 2 has been a game that's kind of like fallen under people's radars where they don't realize it's like actually one of those good RPGs of the PS2 era. So
Kind of like Legaia, you know what I mean?
Legaia 2 was not good.
What? That shit was
not a good
dope, dude.
No, but I'll go play it right now, and I'll tell you right, it probably looks like doo-doo.
It probably looks like doo-doo, but the gameplay is slap, dude. It was great.
All right, I'll have to
Except
I'll
that
have to
one
boot it up.
level. Remember that when you're like that
Sewers.
girl in the sewers, right? Yeah, it was terrible.
Awful.
It was terrible.
Well,
I've been playing, still on that multiverse grind. Been playing that a little bit, but I've been dabbling a little bit with Ni no Kuni on my Steam Deck, and it's fun. I actually like it. Very
Slow?
Very slow. Obviously, this is a true RPG, so you're kind of if you have to invest a lot of time into it, right? So it is one of those games where you have to really grind a little bit to get to the nice juicy parts of the game. But I will say they have some kind of cool Pokemon elements to it, which is kind of cool. The character voice acting looks great. The animations look great. Everything looks spot on for me, and it's aged pretty well. So I'm chipping on that. And I've been dabbling. I started again. God of War 2018. So playing that, I will say I will hold my thoughts second time around playing the game because I've said my piece for the first time, but I'll kind of reiterate what I've said before when I play the game again, just before Ragnarok comes out. And yeah, I'm just kind of chipping away at those games.
I have a funny story for you about God of War. I booted up God of War 2018 last night because I also want to play it before Ragnarok comes out.
You're kind of low now for some reason, Rob. Yeah.
How do I sound now? Is that okay?
Not sure, but I could barely hear you. But you do that, you fix that. We're gonna start on to the first news topic of the week here. Overwatch 2 release hasn't been going that smooth for some reason. Overwatch 2 servers are going through a DDoS attack. If you guys don't know what that is, a DDoS attack is, simply put it, when said servers or said website is being attacked and thus making them shut down and causing people that access that internet or access that website to be closed off. So they're no longer able to access that content, whatever it is, whether it be a website, whether it be a video game like this. So that's what it is. This is leading to extremely long wait times and logins. Other launch issues including missing cosmetics, missing match history, and buggy cameras. There are no planned time for when this will be back up and running. As of today, they're still going through a bunch of issues. Rob, have you had a chance to play Overwatch 2? What are your thoughts on this? Why are they doing this?
I have not touched Overwatch 2 yet.
Okay.
Just because of that reason. There's no point to do it because of the servers. So I'm not going to touch it if I can't even get into the game. I actually saw a tweet earlier from our friend Chazzy over at the Side Project podcast. Shout out to Chazzy. And he was like 80 in line or something like that to get into the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what do you think so far of the situation?
It sucks. I mean, it sucks. I don't know what the attack is. Like, is it just like diehard Overwatch players that are just like, oh, screw this. Like, we're gonna attack this server because we don't want. Because for those that don't know, Overwatch 1, they kind of like closed down the servers for that game. So now Overwatch 2 is out. So a lot of people kind of had conflicting issues with that. So my guess is those people or whoever kind of targeted Overwatch 2 as like, all right, well, you guys are closing down Overwatch 1 servers, so we're going to close down Overwatch 2 servers. And it sucks, like people want to play this game. This game had a lot of ups and downs first released or first announced, right? Where there was just like a lot of like negativity when it comes to it. It just felt like it looked like a DLC package for Overwatch 1, right? And then slowly over the years, over the months, they've actually kind of improved a lot of the marketing, a lot of the campaign or, whatever they're trying to kind of promote for this game. And now I think it's free to play. Am I right?
It is free to play, yes.
Free to play. Free to play. And a lot of the characters, anything that you've kind of like gathered from the first game, all your perks or all your like, cosmetics or whatever are going to be onto the second one, which is great news. So they've done a lot to kind of get back the grace from a lot of the people, but now this comes and it's like full circle. Now it's like, damn it, like why is this happening right now?
Do I sound fine, by the way? Am I good now?
No.
All right, let's pause.
I can't hear you. Technical difficulties right now. Hang on. But yeah, so I think this is one of those things that it sucks. It sucks to happen. And then I don't know if it's one of those things that it's an attack on Overwatch 2 or it's just like one of those normal like issues that video games come to have, like all those times, like when a major popular video game comes out, they get bombarded, like the servers get bombarded, and then they just end up getting all this like heavy like server issues, right? And so this is probably the result of that. So we don't know. I'm willing to try out Overwatch 2 because I think it's kind of like nice to get back into that kind of world and atmosphere, like especially when they fix all these issues. But I don't know how it's going to turn out. So we'll see. We shall see.
Am I good now?
You're still having issues. Not sure why, but yeah, it's just. Did you disconnect your interface?
Yeah, did everything.
'Cause you're super low. But yeah, yeah, it sucks. It is what it is. But moving on to news number 2 here. CD Projekt Red confirms Cyberpunk will get a sequel. Now, this is going to be a lot of news. So actually, before we get into this, because Rob's having a lot of issues right now, what I do want to talk about, which is kind of like a side note on all this, is a lot of previews have been coming out for Gotham Knights, and it looks okay. I wanted to talk a little bit about that because Gotham Knights, we've talked heavily about that game for quite some time. It's coming out this month. And so I don't know how this is going to turn out, but based off of what IGN has stated, this is their preview for Gotham Knights. I'm just going to read a little bit of it here. It says, Gotham Knights is an easy game to demo, and while I walked away from my hands-on time less than impressed with many aspects of combat, I still find myself interested in playing more. We'll see how it all comes together when Gotham Knight releases on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on October 21st. So, Rob, are you good now? I can't hear you at all. Yeah, so it's Gotham Knights basically. Binge, thanks for coming in or checking up on us, Binge. Can you hear Rob? Just want to make sure because he's having some technical difficulties.
You should be able to hear me, Binge.
I hear you now.
You should be able to hear me nice and clear, right?
There you go.
Just for Binge. Just for Binge.
Boom. I don't know if you heard anything about the Gotham Knights thing, Rob, but
yeah, I did. Looks good.
Basically, what do you think?
Looks good. I honestly, when it first came out, I was kind of skeptical about it, but now seeing everything, I'm getting more and more. It looks good. It looks good. The game. I think it's going to be at least a 7 or 8.
Yeah, a lot of the issues still kind of hold true, right? Because a lot of the things that we've talked about before is like it's kind of feeling like samey as far as like Arkham Knight or Arkham, like the Arkham games, right?
Right.
So
right.
The fighting mechanics look very similar. So what they're saying in IGN is that this game looks like it's going to be a lot of the same combat mechanics, a lot of the same enemy variations. So that's gonna be a little disappointing. But the world, the world building, the gameplay, the campaign seems to be very fun. So we'll see. We have to see.
Yeah, so the game looks good, and I don't know if I'll pick it up 100%, but I hope it comes to Game Pass. That's my hope. I don't think it will, but I hope it does.
Doubt it. Moving on to news number 2 here. So back to CD Projekt Red. They're confirming Cyberpunk sequels plus a bunch of other stuff here. So I'm just going to run through a bunch of the news that they have here for us. So the developers announced that the sequel is happening and it's codenamed Project Orion. CD Projekt Red tweeted that their long-term product lineup is having Project Hatter, which is a new IP, Project Sirius or Cyrus. It's a Witcher game for the Molasses Flood. Project Polarius, a new Witcher project or new Witcher trilogy. So this is going to be Witcher 4, the new installment. And then Project Canis Majoris, which is, they have some pretty cool names. Story-driven open world RPG from the third party, not from CD Projekt Red itself. Phantom Liberty is going to be an expansion from Cyberpunk 2077. Phantom Liberty sounds dope as hell. And then Project Orion, which is the sequel to Cyberpunk 2077, and it is not in production as of yet. We'll also be having multiplayer for most of these games in the future projects that they have, and they will expand to a new studio in North America. They'll also express to us that they continue to pursue TV due to the success of the Witcher. Oh my God, I can't read today. Of the Witcher and Cyberpunk series on Netflix. Jeez. All right. A lot to unfold here. How do you want to tackle this? Because there's a lot of information, a lot of new IPs here. Do you want to just kind of go line for line? Like let's start with The Witcher, I guess, right?
We have it right here. It's in front of us. We have the long-term product outlook in front of us, and The Witcher. So, Sirius, what do you think of that? Let's break it down. So, Sirius seems like it's going to be a Witcher game from Molasses Flood, which is a different developer. I don't know what they have developed. Do you know what Molasses Flood has developed?
Idea. No.
Right. We know that Project Polaris is the new Witcher game. Right?
A story-driven open-world RPG built on the legacy of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So, yes.
Okay. All right. So that one we know for... And then... So these two, Sirius and Canis Majoris, are... We don't know. We have no idea.
Exactly.
So I don't have any expectations now, but it seems like one might go like the action route. Like single player. I mean, they're all single player, but you know what I mean? Like more of like a guided experience versus like an open world Witcher game. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I think that's where that might go. I'm going to say Canis Majoris is probably the third party one. That'll probably be the one that's kind of like a maybe more action oriented, more on rails. And obviously Witcher 4 is going to be giant open world. Sirius, I don't actually know. Yes, Molasses Flood is a terrible fucking name.
I kind of like it.
Why?
I don't know. It just
reminds you of Metal Gear, but I guarantee because of Metal Gear.
No, it reminds me of what's Swacky's name on Xbox?
Swacky?
Yeah.
Dangus McCrangus.
Dangus McCangus, yeah. That's why. I don't know why. It just reminds me of that. It's such a great name. Yeah, so a lot here. As far as The Witcher goes, the Project Polaris, I think is this going to be like more DLC? Is that what they're kind of...
No, it's not. I don't think any of this is going to be DLC. I think these are all going to be standalone games. I actually found something handy here. It's Project Polaris's website, okay? And it looks like, interesting enough, this is kind of like the games they've been working on. I don't really know if this does anything for you, but do you see their games right here, their website? This is kind of like what they've worked on.
Interesting.
So if we go to games, they have the Flame and Blood, which is on Steam, Xbox, and PC.
Okay.
We also have Drake Hollow, but these almost look like... It almost looks like an indie developer.
Yeah, it does.
And it is CD Projekt Red.
Yeah. So it's like a sister kind of like a company.
Yeah. So this tells me that game is probably going to be something like this, like more scaled down adventure. What do you think?
That makes sense. Yeah, I think that would be kind of suited for that type of game. I think it'd be kind of nice to kind of have a scaled down version of it as opposed to like that huge open world that we're used to with the Witcher games. That would be cool.
What do you think of now Cyberpunk? Or you like so we kind of tackled The Witcher and we kind of know where that's going. We don't really have to expect anything for a while because it's going to be a while till we see anything for it, but I think Project CD Red is a little more interesting. Or sorry, Cyberpunk, yeah.
Yeah, so
they're in a weird
look
position.
At the Cyberpunk stuff. So basically, Phantom Liberty, that is 100% a DLC because it says major story-driven expansion for Cyberpunk 2077.
Yep.
So cool. So again, we talked about that before. I thought there was only going to be one DLC, and it looks like there's going to be more than one that's not the one that they just announced, right?
What, Phantom Liberty?
Yeah, that's not the one that they just announced.
That's the one they just announced that's coming out next year. Yeah.
Okay, so still holds true that there's only one DLC for Cyberpunk 2077. Got it. As far as the other project, Project Orion, that's going to be the sequel to Cyberpunk 2077. Here's the thing.
Okay.
There's a lot of
going on
future titles to be excited for. And yes, there's a lot going on at the moment. My thing is this is very ambitious of Cyberpunk right now, telling us these are the games that you're going to be expecting in the future. Meanwhile, they were just struggling with Cyberpunk 2077 like months ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for them to come out and say, oh, like, we're back on track and now here's our projected like lineup of games in the future. It's great to see, don't get me wrong, that a developer is like laying out all these things that they're going to show you and going to give you in the upcoming future. But with their track record right now with Cyberpunk 2077, it kind of gets me a little worried. Are these going to be pushed back? Are these even going to come out, some of these titles? Like, how is that going to translate a year or two from now? Like, you can't imagine seeing that new Witcher project anytime soon, or Cyberpunk 20, like the new Cyberpunk game, Orion 2027 or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You just can't expect that to be around the corner.
Here's my thing. This is coming at an all way too convenient time after the show came out on Netflix.
Yep, right.
And we had the big surge of players on Cyberpunk again. So do you think this has something to do with it, where they're like, oh my God, people care about this game again, let's go ahead and reveal our long-term, or do you think that's just coincidence that it happened? Or
with such a lineup that they have, I'm sure this has been in the talks for quite some time.
Okay, so it is coincidence.
They didn't know that the show was going to be that big, so I think it's just coincidence. However, I do think that they are riding the train right now. They're like, all right, or riding the wave right now, right? Because they're like, oh, we're on good, everyone's goodwill right now. Let's kind of release everything that we have in the future. I just don't know if that's going to pan out for them. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's a little too risky because we all know gaming development is very hard. And so anything can happen. Anything can change. You know, a lot of these can be canceled. A lot of things can be restructured. And so one thing that CD Projekt Red does and kind of twist their words a little bit, it's gonna be bad. Like we've seen Cyberpunk 2077 come out. We saw the trailers coming up to Project Cyberpunk 2077, and they did not translate to the actual game that we released, right? That we actually played. I'm just hoping that whatever they show in the future, it translates to what we're gonna actually play.
Yeah, and Binge Worthy Gaming here says Kelvin's right. They need to pump the brakes and take it slow, quality over quantity. Now, let's take this into perspective. I think people's perception of this company is really, really going to depend on Phantom Liberty.
Yeah.
I think that's going to paint the picture of, like, are they actually returning to form? Are they actually good again? Or are they
100%.
actually care? Because if Phantom Liberty sucks, that DLC, again, it's a big story-driven DLC now. It's not really, you know, we're just adding a bunch of crap in open world, do whatever. But it's more like you actually want to play the story again. And if it's a powerful story and really grabs people, then I think that's how we get back on this train. But if Phantom Liberty sucks and there's not like a lot of talk about it,
right. Yeah. It could be doom and gloom for them.
Yeah.
For anything else that they come out with. It's very risky. I don't know how they managed to be like, yeah, we're gonna show you our cards right now, and hopefully everyone will be excited. This doesn't excite me as much as worries me, you know.
They are hiring a ton of new positions right after this was shown, so that tells me they really want to scale up their teams. They just opened that new North American office. So I think they're they know what they have to do. I just hope they're not seeing the money signs again being like, you know. Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. I think, again, it's a good thing that are like, hey, this is what we have lined up for you guys. You know, this is what you're looking forward to. But it could also bite them in the ass because of their history and what they did with, you know, the release of Cyberpunk.
Do you like this trend of companies doing this?
Like showing you what
the
they
product,
have.
Yeah. So I know Ubisoft just showed it with Assassin's Creed. They
Right.
did kind of like a product outlook. Do you like this kind of new thing that companies are doing, showing like they're almost showing like it's like a software? It is software, but you know what I mean. They're showing like this is our product development, like this is what we're hitting. It's more
like a soft reveal, right, for their games.
Right. So it's kind of taking out the
excitement
about this stuff where like I had no idea that Witcher 4 is being developed, and then we just see a trailer that just pops out of nowhere. You're like, oh my god. So
right.
I guess in the age of the internet, that's how it is now. Like anything leaks, so it's already ruined for you. Gone are the days where like it was so hard to like get a leak in, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about that, but there's been tons of leaks. That's maybe not for them, but tons of leaks as far as like other games that have been like completely ruined. You know, even Assassin's Creed games have been leaked recently, you know. But I think to your question, I don't like this method in a sense because, again, like you said, it's showing their cards way too early, and it removes that like that awe aspect, right? When
it almost feels like I'm part of like an investor, like looking at a business proposition right
Yeah.
now. That's how I feel it is, and I don't like that. So
yeah, hold your cards close to your chest and release it when you think it's ready. You know, I always loved the method of how Fallout 4 released their game, right? How it was, hey, E3 comes, here's Fallout 4, and guess what? It's coming out in 6 months. And everyone's like, wait, 6 months? Like, are you serious? That's going to be delayed. And no, it wasn't. It was like, here's 6 months ago. We're here.
Very true.
I love that method, right? Like, the game is ready. We're going to show you a trailer, maybe 2. The game's out in like 6 months.
It's not like freaking Legend of Zelda where it's like, we're working on it. Here's a trailer. All right, here's coming out finally. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And that's another thing, too. I mean, CD Projekt Red, how long did it take Cyberpunk to release? It took them several years, you know? We knew about this game back in like 2014, 15, something like that.
Something crazy, yeah.
So, I don't know. This screams very ambitious, but we'll have to see. I don't know.
Yep.
I can't really knock them right now, but we'll see.
I have no idea what Hadar is, whatever that game is. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. No idea.
Should they be tackling a new IP?
That's the thing. I don't know.
Like Cyberpunk's kind of like a new IP. Should they really be? I don't know.
Maybe they've learned from their mistakes,
Hopefully.
News number 3 here. Dead Space official gameplay trailer. So we finally got a lengthy gameplay trailer from developers Motive Studios. They finally released a trailer for us, and it's just in time for the spooky season. Rob, did you see the trailer at all?
I did see the trailer, but I'm going to put it up here again, just because I want to kind of like talk through it as far as like what's happening. Go for it. No, I'm saying I'm typing in YouTube right now. I typed in dead trailer. That's what I forgot that's the Dead Space part.
The link is definitely on the doc, but okay.
All right, so pulling up the trailer right now. What did you think of the trailer? Initial thoughts.
It's more Dead Space. I mean, I don't need any more like reassurance that this game is gonna be Dead Space, because it is. You know what I mean? Like, it looks cool. It looks prettier. But what this trailer did for me was confirm that the first trailer or the first Dead Space game already looked great.
Yeah. So I don't think we needed this. This is great. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think we actually needed this.
I mean, I'm looking at the trailer right now. I'm looking at some of the scenes. I'm looking at some of the background, and it looks good. It looks like how I remember Dead Space looking, I'm sure a lot of the graphics have been improved and a lot of the textures have been, remade, but nothing screams like, holy shit, this is revolutionary. It looks great, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, like you said, if we needed this. I'm okay with this. I'm great. I want this game. My only major concern about this, now that this is released, or this is going to be released, I think, next year, January, Callisto Protocol, right?
Yeah, it's going to be kind of weird that they're so close to each other as far as releases go. So, because Callisto comes out in November, right?
No, December.
Comes out in December, and this comes out next year, right?
January, I believe.
Yeah, so like pretty close, like 1 month after each other. It's like they almost want you to play Callisto Protocol first and then play this game,
Well, they're not made from the same developers, right?
No, but it's the same kind of universe, right? It's the same.
So that's my concern. It's like, if Callisto Protocol is so similar to what this game looks like, I feel like people are gonna, one, either mistake this game for Callisto Protocol, or two, be like, hey, I've already played Dead Space. Callisto Protocol is a new game. Essentially, it's going to be Dead Space 4, like what I want to see. So why not just play Callisto Protocol instead and get my fix for Dead Space,
This trailer doesn't really scream like scary to me, in all honesty. Like the parts that they're showing are very actiony, in my opinion. Do we need this?
No, we don't. But I'm not mad at it. Like, I think it's cool. My only concern, like I said, Callisto Protocol is coming out first. Am I gonna play Callisto Protocol, which I am?
Because you never played that game before, ever. It's the new thing.
It's a new IP. So I play that, enjoy it, right? Let's say I really enjoy it, I really dig it. And then I'm like, all right, I got my fix. I don't really need to play Dead Space remake, because one, I got my fix, I already played it, right. And two, I'm good, so I think, is that gonna deter people from playing Dead Space? That's my major issue.
Well, so right now you can play Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3 on, I think, Game Pass. I think it's pretty cheap on Steam. I think it's on PSN. Why should I pay, which this game will probably be $70, right?
100%, yeah, it is.
It's going to be $70 when I can get the version, the Xbox 360 version, which, don't get me wrong, like, yes, it's older, but it's still kind of the same experience. Is it that much worth it where I could play this game for basically free and get a similar experience, or pay that $70 and get this rematch? I'll be honest with you. If you were to tell me this was like Dead Space right now, I'd be like, okay, this is this is fine. Like that's Xbox. That was the Dead Space from Xbox 360, but it was just like upscaled from like it was like you're playing it on like a Beast PC. I would tell you like, oh my god, like looks great, but like it didn't change any. They just put like a fresh coat of paint, is all.
Right.
I don't think it's enough.
I mean, this goes back to the conversation that we've had with The Last of Us and The Last of Us remake, right? And this is not part of the news, but we should have talked about it a little bit actually. But with Horizon Zero Dawn, right? Sony announcing that they're gonna, or not announcing because it's kind of like rumored, but it's gonna be rumored that we have a Horizon Zero Dawn remake or remaster. They're not sure yet.
It's on Steam. It's on PC. People just have ridiculous machines and they just make it look better. Like it's a new game. It's pretty much a newer game.
Didn't come out that long ago. You know, it was like 4 or 5 years ago. So we have that conversation again. You know,
the first game I think you actually did for what was it? Game of the Week was Horizon Zero Dawn.
Right.
I'm like 90% sure. So I don't understand. It's 100% a money grab. It's a 100%.
And it's gonna be $70. I can guarantee you, it's gonna be $70. Again, it's just like Last of Us.
The Anthem thing is gonna happen to that game, where you're gonna see that game in like the freaking dollar bins inside like GameStop because no one's buying it because they're like, this is stupid. I'm not paying $70 for a game that just came out.
Again, here's the thing. This conversation is it just opened up a whole can of worms because yes, I agree with you. If you've played the game, it is pointless to play a game like that. If you don't, unless you're a die-hard Dead Space fan, unless you're a die-hard, Last of Us fan, like you would want to get those games to play it in the most definitive version, right? But I don't think it's targeting us. I think it's targeting those people that are just getting their PS5s, that have not played PS4, that have not played PS3, and they're like, I need games to play. What's coming out or what's out there? And then they see, they don't know that there's a PS4 version out there. They don't know that there's a game that's much cheaper that they could just grab real quick. They see, or they want to play a PS5 definitive game, right? So they see that Last of Us remake PS5 game on the shelf, and they're like, oh, I've heard about this game. I want to play it. I think that's their target. I think that's what they're trying to do as far as Dead Space go, as far as Sony with, Horizon, as far as Sony with Last of Us. They're not targeting us. It sounds stupid for us. It's like, oh, this is a money cash grab. And it is, don't get me wrong, because it feels like, there's other ways to kind of work around this situation, but it's a business at the same time, right? And they're trying to make money. So this is what they do to kind of grab different audiences that have not played the games before.
Yeah. If anything, this makes me less of a fan of Sony with what they're doing. Mm-hmm. For me, this is kind of like stooping pretty low as far as what they're trying to do here. They're just trying to squeeze more money out of these IPs, right? Because they know 100%. The next one isn't coming out, where they should be working on new ones instead of just keeping to remaster. Same thing with them releasing on PC. They take forever to release something on PC. It's not till a couple of years later till they actually do it. So, like I said, binge-worthy gaming. Games are beginning to follow the Hollywood model, remakes and nostalgia bait. 100%. That's what they're trying to do. But if you're going to do a remake or a remaster, do it from a game that's a little older that hasn't had one, right? One that people have been screaming for is the Metal Gear Solid series. We want a Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. We want a Metal Gear Solid 4 remaster, right? Because not a lot of people got to play those games because it was only on
PS2.
Especially,
Or PS3. PS2.
Yeah, specifically Guns of the Patriots was only on PS3 and not everyone had a PS3 at the time. So why are you going and trying to remaster games like that? Even the old Splinter Cells would be cool to remaster. I'm just going off. There's a ton of different games they could have put their time into instead of doing Last of Us that already got a remaster on PS4 like not that long ago. Now Horizon Zero Dawn, Dead Space that's coming out. Come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, Sony, again, I'm not trying to be for Sony, but those are their IPs. Those are like their AAA first title. Like they can't do anything with Metal Gear Solid because it's not theirs, unless they have a conversation with Konami to see if they can kind of work something out. That's a different story, right?
But it's not just a Sony issue. It's everyone's doing.
It seems like 100%. Yeah.
Right.
So it seems like again that trend is coming back with like remakes coming or remasters coming back. Back in like the PS3 era, I think it was, or the PS4 era, where like we're just getting a bunch of like rehash games that came out already. This kind of seems like it's the next big thing, but in a worse way because now we're charging 70 plus like top price tag for these games that, in our opinions and gamers' opinions, they're not really doing that much to like make it worthwhile, you know?
Exactly. You're buying the same game that's only you already. Like I said, I can understand if the game is really old and it took time to like you literally what they're doing with Crisis Core. That you're literally building that game up again, and they're only going to charge $60 for it. So that makes sense.
Even if they charge $70, I'm down with that because again, like you said, this was tied to a PSP. This was tied to like a console or a handheld that is like now ancient history at this point.
Right.
You're bringing it back now. It's like, okay, this is worth someone's time or a majority of people's time because they didn't play this. You know, they didn't have a PSP back then. I'm included, you know? So yeah, you're remaking this game from the ground up. 100% I'm buying that, you know?
Right.
So.
I mean, even Call of Duty did it with Modern Warfare. Remember they came out with Modern Warfare 4? Not right. Modern Warfare, but that's what I'm saying. Like all of these companies are not doing it. And I think it's eventually going to get old. They're going to see people just don't buy them. People really, I don't think are going to buy them.
I don't know. I would like to see how much Last of Us sold. The Last of Us remake sold. You know?
Ooh, that's a good one.
To see what is this worth it? Is Sony seeing the fruits of their labor for this? You know.
Binge also said that Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl for Pokemon was a big one too, a big offender.
Yeah. And you guys still beat it. You know, I could not.
I actually didn't beat it.
Really? I thought you did.
No, I couldn't. Do I still have it installed? I didn't beat it because I was like, this is stupid. This is dumb. Why am I going through it? Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Well, speaking of things that we want to get remastered or remade, news number 4 here. Crystal Dynamics releases survey about the Legacy of Kain series. So this is a survey that Crystal Dynamics gave, essentially just kind of threw out there so you can actually fill out questionnaires about the Legacy of Kain. They released a survey October 3rd asking fans what they would like to see in a series made if the series made a comeback. They asked users if they would like a remake, a sequel, or a reboot. They also asked what genre they would like it to return into. So correct me if I'm wrong. What was Legacy of Kain 2 different types of genres back in the day? Like, did they make different types of
No, they were the same kind of game. I think it was
a weird question.
It is a weird question. So they had Legacy of Kain. They also had Soul Reaver, which were kind of the two. They were two related games.
Right.
But
so they were action adventure games.
They were action adventure games. So I don't know why people would want to see it return to something else.
Card-based game, like, you know what I mean? I mean, it could work.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So.
But and the developer announced last month that it regained control of its Legacy of Kain series and the Tomb Raider IP. Rob, are we getting a Legacy of Kain reboot at some point?
We are. See, this is fine. I'm okay with this. Like, charge me $70 for this because it's so old. Like there's gonna be work put into it to come out with this, right? I don't remember Legacy of Kain. I don't really remember it. I don't even remember. I think I played it for like 2 seconds at your house.
Really? Oh, I love that game, dude. It was so fucking dope.
All right.
Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. Did you play Soul Reaver?
Soul Reaver was sick. I like Soul Reaver a lot.
Oh, I remember playing Soul Reaver when I got, back in the day, the PS2 had like these demos that you would get from like magazines.
Yeah.
So Soul Reaver was one of them. Metal Gear Solid 1 was one of them. Hence how I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan now. Parasite Eve was in there as well.
That's
so
awesome.
Many great classic
games.
Yeah,
little demos. You get like 5 demos in one day. Yep. That was amazing. Yeah.
So I played all those games on that demo, and I love Soul Reaver. I don't think I ended up buying. I did end up buying Soul Reaver. Yeah, I did end up buying Soul Reaver, and that was fun. But Legacy of Kain was one that I played after Soul Reaver, and I think Legacy of Kain is first when it comes to the.
Yes.
Yeah, so that one I played after Soul Reaver, but I loved it, dude. It was such a good game.
Do you remember anything from the game?
I vaguely remember it.
But story, you don't know anything.
No,
so this game needs to come back. It needs to come back because a lot of people loved it.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been asking for this. Back when Crystal Dynamics was under Ubisoft, it was either Legacy of Kain or Splinter Cell. Like everybody, like, where's the next Splinter Cell? When's the next Legacy of Kain? Like, right. I feel like that is something that everybody kept mentioning at E3 and all that stuff. So if Crystal Dynamics can do this, and Crystal Dynamics was under Ubisoft, right? I'm correct.
I think so. I think it was.
Vaguely, yeah. That's gonna bother me. I'm gonna look.
But here's the thing too: is like they said they just got it back. So I don't understand what happened with the Legacy of Kain franchise. Like, who had it? why people were just sitting on it for so long. They said they just got the rights to it.
Square Enix, my bad.
Square Enix.
Sorry about that.
Oh, because Parasite Eve, right?
Yeah. That was my fault. Yeah. But yeah, so this would be really cool to see. This would be really dope to actually get our hands on, or see something like really to come out in fruition and see how well that translation would be from like the PS2 era to like the PS5, Xbox Series
X. Be great.
Like, it'd be beautiful.
As long as they don't kind of make it like what they did for Medieval. Remember, they did a remake for that where it was like half baked. Like I think they should just redesign the whole thing up. Just make it.
Controls and everything, because that's the problem with Medieval. I loved playing that game on the PS2, right? But it does not hold well with the controls. Like the graphics, all they did was like up the graphics a little bit.
But the controls they look the same, basically.
But the controls were exactly the same, and it was wonky as hell, dude. It was terrible.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
if they're gonna do this, they need to kind of make it a total remake and do it from the ground up, basically.
All right, let's fill out this survey. How about that?
Okay.
Right now. So age.
Right now.
We are 25 to 34, right?
Okay.
We're not in the 35 bracket yet.
Not yet.
All right. So next. Okay. First name.
How long is this survey?
I don't know. So I'm going to put Rob. Guys, don't look me up, please. I am a boy.
A boy.
I'm a male.
Oh, it doesn't? Okay, there you go.
What platforms do you own and play on regularly? PlayStation 5, PC, Nintendo Switch, Steam Deck, and that's it, right?
That's it.
All right. Oh, they show all the games right here. Look at that. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 2, Blood Omen 2. I didn't know these came out for PC.
I don't know either.
I don't either. Okay. Have you played any games in the Legacy of Kain series? Yes.
Okay.
Have you ever watched someone play a Legacy of Kain online? For example, Twitch, YouTube, etc. No, I have not. Have you?
No. I mean, you've watched me play the game back in the day, but that's...
But not like a streamer or anything like that,
streamer,
right?
No.
Okay, so we're going to hit no for that. All right. How much do you disagree with the following statement? I am a fan of the Legacy of Kain series.
I think we would...
Neutral? Agree?
I would agree. I mean, I'm a fan. I'm not like a major fan, but I definitely love those games.
I care about the... we care about the game.
The title.
Yeah. All right, we're going to agree. Ooh. Which Legacy of Kain games have you played? Did you play the original Blood Omen Legacy of Kain?
No. I played the Defiance one.
Defiance?
Yep.
And we played Soul Reaver. I know that.
Correct. Yep.
I don't know if we played Soul Reaver 2. I don't think I have.
Don't know.
Okay. Rate the Legacy of Kains you've played. 1 most negative rating to 10 positive rating. And I'm going to say I don't remember well enough to rate. Right? I can't give it on. I'm not going to give it a 10 if I don't know what like...
Right.
So maybe I don't know. I don't remember it well enough. Yeah.
Yes, which is probably like, all right, well, if you don't remember it, we'll probably make it, back.
All right. What is the most memorable thing from Legacy of Kain games? I don't remember shit. I just remember you're a cool vampire. I remember...
There were like flying mechanics, I remember, but I don't remember much.
You were a cool... vampire. Cool. Flying.
Bingeworthy says, give it a spiral treatment and put both together, remade in one banger of a game. 100%. If they do that,
okay,
collector's edition, that would be great.
Yes, let's do that. What word would you use to describe the setting of the Legacy of Kain and the land of Northgoth?
Nosgoth.
I'm going to say immortal, creepy, serious, grim.
Dark.
Violent.
Was blood and shit,
Yeah. Corrupted.
Oh, that's it.
Okay.
They're like, all right, relax.
What, in your opinion, are the core features of the Legacy of Kain series? Cinematics. I remember there were cinematics.
Yep. Blood and soul feeding.
Okay. Time travel and paradoxes. Do you care about that stuff or no? Story writing. That has to be. Yeah, that's important.
Combat. Combat's pretty important.
Voice acting.
Yeah.
Well, not as much as the other ones.
What's his name? I don't know his name.
Raziel.
Does he have a voice?
I think he did. I think he had a talk. I think he talked.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and put a complex plot. Let's do that. That's good. Who is your favorite protagonist from the Legacy of Kain games? Kain, Raziel, or I do not have a favorite protagonist. Did you like Kain better or Raziel?
Kain had the better moveset, in my opinion.
Raziel had a weird one. He was like the one that took the souls, right?
He was more stealth, I feel like, if I remember correctly.
But Raziel looked cooler.
That's fair. But that's not what they're asking, Rob.
Okay, which one was your favorite, Kelvin? It's Kain?
Kain.
Okay, all right, we'll go with Kain. Who I have no idea who any of these people are, so I'm going to go ahead and say I do not remember. All right, next. This is a pretty long survey, guys. Holy shit.
Yeah, this is pretty long.
What would your be your reaction to the announcement of the new game featuring vampires? Not specifically. I mean, it would be okay. I think it'd be neutral. They're saying if a vampire game came out, what would your reaction be? I'd be like,
I mean, are we saturated with a bunch of vampire games at this point or no?
Yeah, I'm going to say neutral because I'm just...
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, when they had a new vampire game, I'm like, all right, cool, like whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Have you played any games featuring vampires other Legacy of game? Yes. Blood Rain.
Binge writes in, he says, dude, there's like 3 die-hard LOK Soul Reavers fans worldwide. No one knows the lore like they think they do. A sequel would make 0 sense.
100%. A sequel would make 0 sense.
Yeah.
There should just be a remake.
Remade for sure. Yeah.
What in your opinion are, I'm just going to go through these real quick. Story writing. Shape-shifting would be cool.
Sure.
Blood feeding.
I love it.
What do you see? Gotham theme? Gothic's theme.
Yep.
Vampire mythology is cool. And then let's do hunting prey, blood feeding, combat. We'll do.
Sure. Yeah.
If anything, have you prevented from enjoying the game featuring vampires? Nothing has really stopped me from enjoying that. What would your reaction be to announce a new Legacy of Kain game? Very positive.
Yes.
This is Ben. This is where you're coming off. This is what would you prefer the next Legacy of Kain series to be? Please rank from most to least desirable. Okay, so we want a remaster. No.
Do we? We want a remake.
Hold on. Yeah, remake of one of the original games. Rebuild one of the original games from the ground up.
Yes.
That one. Yes.
That's what you need. Yes.
Then a remaster. Or would you rather reboot? It'd be different.
I'm curious to see how they can... What they would do with it. Though,
I think a remaster would be safer.
You think a remaster?
Reboots can go very bad.
They could. Yeah, you're right. All right. I like that. So then the reboot and then the last one would be sequel to the original.
Because we need to know what the fuck's going on with the other. I don't remember that shit.
Yeah, that's fair. I like that.
If the next Legacy of Kain were a remaster remake, which of the original games do you like remade, remaster first? So we're going to do Legacy of Kain Defiance.
That's the one I played, so I would definitely like that. But I don't know much of Blood Omen or...
Okay, we'll pick that one because we're going to put unsure because we don't really know. Yeah. And then what was your third next Legacy of Kain preferred platform would be? We're going to say PS5, PC, and Steam Deck. Steam Deck, Dick Boys. Oh, shit.
How familiar are you with the story from the original Legacy of Kain?
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Very unfamiliar? Yeah, I don't remember it.
I just know they're vampires.
Story wasn't their strong suit, I don't think.
No.
But apparently, like Ben said, there's a lore that not many people know of, but there is a lore.
I just know they're vampires, and Raziel is like a even more dead vampire or something. So, if the next Legacy of Kain game was a sequel to the original series, would you like the next game to include a story recap?
Yes, why not?
Yeah, duh, dude.
Doesn't
what the
hurt.
fuck? We're almost done, guys. 63%.
Let's do it. Come on, speed it
What
up.
type of game would you prefer the next Legacy of Kain game? Single player, right?
Yeah. Oh, we can't see the. Okay. Yeah.
It says single player, multiplayer co-op, or multiplayer PvP. I think single player is probably the safest bet.
That's safe. Yeah, that's fine.
What genre would you like the next Legacy of Kain game to be? Action.
Again, a weird question. Like, it should just be action adventure, like how it was.
Action RPG. I don't think it'd be an RPG. Action adventure.
Sure.
Beat 'em up. Metroidvania. So it'd be more of like.
Oh.
Want that?
No.
Roguelike. Roguelike would be cool. I think a roguelike would be kind of cool. So
I wouldn't mind a roguelike.
Okay. Do a roguelike. And what would you dislike? All right. I don't want it to be a beat 'em up. I don't want it to be an MMO. And I don't want it to be a MOBA. I think that I can take those out.
Boom.
At what modern game most resembles the type of gameplay you expect a new Legacy of Kain game? That's actually a really good question.
Interesting. What's a good... Guys, if you have any idea, let us know in the comments. What would be a fitting game that resembles Legacy of Kain?
It's such a great comment. That's such a great comment.
Bingeworthy says, Crystal Dynamics equals Build-A-Bear of gaming world. Tell us what to do. Oh my god. Brutal.
Hey, that's not a bad thing. They're listening to the fans.
That's fair. So what do you think? What's the closest to the Legacy of Kain game that we have right now? What's that game that we played that had vampires and stuff? What was it called?
Vampire Masquerade or some shit, but I don't want that. That's
no, but yeah.
Would you like it in a Devil May Cry type of game, or you don't think it would work?
I think it would work. That would
something
be cool.
like, I think somewhere between Devil May Cry and like a third person like God of War 2018. I think if you put like kind of mesh.
What?
You know how you have like
2018?
You have like the third person view of the way that they do the camera of God of War 2018.
Yeah.
And how they do the story. And then maybe mix in the fast. You know what was a good one? Kena.
Yeah. Like you're talking about specifically just like camera view?
Yeah.
I can see that. I like the direction you were going more towards with the Devil May Cry, though.
Overhead view or behind the back, I guess would be better.
I think behind the back.
For this game?
Yeah, behind the back, in my opinion. Not like God of War, though. That's like up your ass, basically. Like, that's like right next to
up Kratos' your ass.
Yeah, that's like Kratos' like shoulder. Like, I don't want that.
Batman. What about like Batman or Spider-Man?
That's too close. I don't know. That's too much. That's too like cinematic, you know?
All right, we're going to put Devil May Cry. I think that's the closest one.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
I'm just going to read the next one here. As a point of reference, what media franchise most resembles the tone you would expect from a new Legacy of Kain game?
I have no idea. Oh, I guess like Underworld. Remember the Underworld movies?
Yeah.
I think that'd be good. Or Blade.
I was thinking Blade.
That'd be cool. There is a Blade game coming out, isn't there?
I know
there was rumored.
Or like a Spawn.
It actually says the final page. This is a ridiculous survey to ask people to do. I remember
diehards are filling it out, I'm sure. You know?
I remember with like Super Smash Brothers, they were like, all right, which character do you want? And that's it. That's all they asked. It wasn't, please share any additional feedback. No. No, I'm good. And that's it.
Submit it. We contributed to the potential, making of this game. So congrats, Rob. You did it.
Thank you guys for sticking with us while we did that. But I think that was pretty fun because now just doing that, do you think more developers should do that?
Yeah, I mean, developers do that. They do that. I feel like there's a bunch that at least I get a few of them. They're like, hey, if you want to, what do you want to see in the next installment or something like that? Like, and some of them I do fill out, but I wouldn't mind. I don't want it to be that long. Like, I think 30.
That was a little crazy, right? Yeah, I think that was a little much.
But yeah, I mean, hey, if we see a Legacy of Kain game coming out soon, it's us. We did it. We made that happen.
Exactly, and it comes out exactly how we said it. It's all us, baby.
Well, that ends the news for the week, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's get into in-game chat. So for this week's in-game chat, we're going to talk about, which is kind of fitting to this, right? What
Right.
PS2 era RPG would you like to see remade? Now, for us, it's going to be the PS2 era, but for everyone that's listening, it doesn't have to be PS2. It can be whatever genre or whatever RPG game that you've played in the past. It doesn't have to be PS2. It could be Nintendo, whatever. What RPG game would you like to see remade, essentially? Rob, let's start off with you.
There has been a lot, right? I mean, there has already been a lot that have been remade technically. You have Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age. You have Persona 4, for the Vita. You can, I guess, count that as a remake, right? I mean, that game's kind of like ageless in itself, right? So I'm not going to pick that one. Kingdom Hearts has also been remade with the HD collection. So more of like a remaster.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, and I might be taking yours, I was going to say Shadow Hearts 2, but I'm already playing it right now.
I felt like you were going to pick that.
Yeah, I am playing it right now, but it's aged very well. I don't know if it's because the Steam Deck's performance is helping it. It might be, but I'm not playing it. I'm like, oh my god, this game sucks to play. No, I'm still enjoying it. I'm gonna go and say Xenosaga 1.
I was gonna pick that.
You're gonna pick.
You're gonna pick that.
And you go first. Yeah, you go first about Xenosaga.
Well, why Xenosaga? I guess I want to throw it back at you.
So I think that game was very under the radar in a sense. Like, sorry, I just read Mitch's comment. He says, "Legend of Motherfucking Dragoon." That's a PS1 game. That's a PS1 game, right, dude?
I mean, again, that's fine. I told everybody whatever you guys want. You know, an RPG that you want to be remade, like that's fine. You know.
Yeah, I think Xenosaga, because it was a game that was kind of under the radar. Not that many people, I feel like. There's not a ton of Xenosaga fans, but I remember it was an interesting take. It was kind of like Mass Effect before it was like Mass Effect. Like,
sure.
I'm not comparing apples to oranges, but
yeah.
It was in that space. It was an RPG.
What a game. What a game, dude. Like, I remember playing... Was it Xenosaga 1 that we first started off with?
Yeah, Xenosaga 1. Xenosaga 1. I know Xenosaga 2 wasn't as great.
Yeah, that's right. Xenosaga 1 was phenomenal, I feel like. It was ahead of its time, I feel like, you know? Like, just with the cinematics, the cutscenes that they had, the gameplay, Cosmos being just Cosmos, like, she just looked really dope and just had, like, a weird personality, even though she was a robot, but, like, still had some type of personality. It was strange.
Yeah, I really think that game would benefit from a remake. I really do think, because it's the only kind of like big sci-fi one we have is Mass Effect. Really, if you think about it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Star Ocean still comes to mind. You know?
Ooh, Star Ocean would be a good one.
Yeah, I think that would have been my go-to for Star Ocean till the end of time if they could remake that from the ground up. That's a very lengthy game. It's like 2 discs long, but
3.
Yeah,
I think it's 3.
3 discs?
3?
I remember this so clearly, dude. Like, it still looks good for a PS2.
Yeah, for a PS2. Is it early PS2? But this is the combat. Oh, I don't remember this at all. I didn't know it was that far back and looked so small. Oh, this is weird.
Did you beat the game?
I don't remember beating the game.
I beat it.
I remember
I beat it, and I remember I had to... I beat it. I never saw the ending because when I beat it, my file corrupted. Like, I beat I beat the boss, and then as I'm watching the cutscene, the end cutscene, it just like corrupted somehow.
Yeah,
so I never saw the ending.
All PS2 games were all like this, like the way that had like the little overworld, and you just walked around, and there's like little items collecting around. But I mean, look at the animation; it looks like shit.
I mean, come on, dude. What do you expect? It's a PS2 game, dude. Jesus Christ. It looks great to me. I think it looked great, especially at the cutscenes, man. The cutscenes really made it for me. Like, it really kept me engaged, and like you saw people like their facial animations, you know, like even though they didn't have anything, but they weren't just like blobs, you know. Right.
Why did this machine just come to the wall out of nowhere? That was weird.
Dude. You know what I mean? Because you just said because.
Just
because, bro. Bench roll. looks like Pokemon Coliseum for GameCube, which I don't hate that, honestly.
Yeah. Pokemon Coliseum did have similar graphics to this game. But no, actually, that's a really good comparison. I think that's a Knuckle Firecracker, and it tells you how to battle. Oh, that's a sick. Let's skip around a little bit here. The shit's hitting the fan right now. People are about to blow up. I see red. That means these guys are fucking dead.
Yeah, that's bad. That's real bad.
But just a ton of cutscenes.
I remember this, dude. I remember this way more than like Soul Reaver.
Okay, why do they keep showing this butthole? Like, I'm not. Yeah, there we go. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think something like this would be awesome to be remade, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. My game, and I don't know if this is cheating or not. It's still a PlayStation game. I would have wanted Grandia 1 to be remade from the ground up.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Originally, it's a PS1 game, though. So a little cheating on that end. But Grandia 2 I played, and that's a PS2 game, and that was still fantastic. So if I had to pick a PS2 game, it would probably be Grandia 2. If you want to pull that up, pull up Grandia 1.
Grandia 1. Okay,
yeah,
Grandia
that
1.
Game is, I still remember that. Like
I don't know. I never played Grandia. I never actually know.
It's on Steam Deck. It's on PC if you want to play it for $20. Or
is this
$20?
There's an HD remaster?
Yeah, it's an HD
Grandia?
remaster. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm tempted to play it and play it on my Steam Deck if it works.
Okay, so we're gonna watch it right now. But so why Grandia?
It's more nostalgically for me. I think it had great combat. Again, your typical RPG game, right? But it just had the combat, and you know what? It reminds me of Persona, in a way of like the characters.
That reminds you of Persona. That reminds you of Persona right here. This right here.
The characters themselves is what really made me want to keep playing this game, because they were so fleshed out. They had a lot of personality. They had a lot of like banter between each character. It just felt like I kind of quote unquote knew these characters as I kept playing the game, and it reminds me of Persona. It was like, you kind of get this like attachment towards these characters. Again, the graphics are very outdated. The gameplay probably outdated, but this isn't your typical like RPG game where like you're just like you're actually. I think you're actually controlling.
Is it actually okay? Are you actually? Is it like you're moving around? Is she moving around herself?
Say you are, but I don't recall.
It looks like you are. I don't know, but this actually reminds you of Chrono Trigger a little bit.
Chrono Trigger, yep, that comes to mind too.
A little bit when I see this. I mean, Chrono Trigger is like a granddaddy of like,
yeah, for sure,
JRPGs. So.
But again, I think that the gameplay was solid, and what really made me keep playing this game and end up beating it was a 2-disc game too. It was the story, like the story and the characters that were involved in the game.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think this would benefit immensely from a remake. I can see it's an old game, but you can tell at the time it was like way ahead of its time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like look at the animations. Like there's a lot of care that were put into this. Like every single enemy has a different animation, and when they do their attack, like you could just tell this game deserves
it. They even went a step forward.
It's getting destroyed.
They like every character had voice animation, voice character or a voice line, in the game. So each cutscene you would hear their voice actors, and again just kind of added to the gameplay, because back then you didn't really have that. It was just mostly text that you had to read, right? But they kind of went up that extra mile, and you remember these characters because of the voice acting. And I still remember, I don't know his name, I forget his name, but he's like V/, that's like one of his attacks. Like
I do remember someone saying that. Yeah, V/.
Justin, yeah.
Cool.
So
very cool. So well, we'll see. Maybe one day it'll get remade, right?
Maybe. But that's going to be quite some time from now. In the meantime, let's do Would You Rather.
Yeah.
Rob, Would You Rather is a very short one for this week, but first one here. Would you rather, or which Metal Gear mech would you rather pilot? Metal Gear Rex, Metal Gear Ray, the Shagohod, or what is this called? Also known as a
Salanthropus.
Salanthropus. That's right, Salanthropus.
All right.
Is that Metal Gear 3? No. Where's that?
That's Metal Gear 5.
Metal Gear 5. Oh, God. I don't remember that game. What would you pick?
It's going to be tough, but... Well, let's pull up some...
I already know mine.
Is it Metal Gear Ray? It's It's probably Ray. Correct. Yeah, I know it's Ray. Yeah, it's Ray. I mean, if we look at Metal Gear Rex, he's pretty badass. He's the OG. He's like the OG. Like, this is the original, looks like a T-Rex.
He's kind of quirky, though. It's just, he doesn't feel like he's fleshed out, I like the railgun and all that stuff, but, he
now we look
seems
at
out
Ray.
there. Now, Ray, he just looks very edgy, very, like, he's ready to, like, dive, like, he just has personality,
Yeah, he's kind of like a sea thing, like, / like dragon / like, like they really. I think
don't remember him having a tail though. That's interesting.
I think that was just like a concept.
Art? Yeah,
I think
that's
so.
Weird. Yeah.
I don't think he had a tail either. I think he just
looked like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Ray is definitely ahead of its time. I think the way that's actually kind of cool. Jeez. I don't know what that is, but the more I keep looking at it, it gets more weird. But I'm gonna stop that.
Yeah, I'd say Ray. What about you?
Ray. I'm gonna go Salanterpuss, because if we look at Salanterpuss, I don't even know how to spell. I don't even know where to start.
SAH.
I'm just gonna copy from the doc, dude, and just do it. That's what's gonna happen. Okay.
Well,
Metal Gear.
Interesting.
There we go. How do you say that word? Oh my god. So that's Salanterpuss.
I don't like it. It's a Metal Gear Rex, but standing.
Bipedal.
Hence the name.
Okay, it looks bad there. It looks really bad there.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I'm going to then say Rex.
That was kind of cool.
Rex?
Yeah,
Rex.
Okay.
Rex.
That's fair.
Rex is the OG. You can't beat him.
Binge. So. Oh, God. Binge.
Oh, just...
Metal Gear had mechs? Who knew? Damn, man. Stick to the Call of Duties, all right? All right, Binge?
Yeah, I'm going to play some Vanguard.
Dude, honestly, I can't wait for next.
I can't wait till Modern Warfare comes out and we can all play. Binge, we're definitely going to be streaming some Warfare, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, let's do it. Last Would You Rather here. Would you rather be on a desert island with one person of your choice and live without any technology? No phone, no games, no cameras, nothing. Or would you rather spend life in jail and have one console handheld of your choice?
Oh, your life in jail.
Like your life. You did some fucked up shit.
And what was the first one?
Would you rather be on a deserted island with one person of your choice? So you can pick whoever. You can pick Jess. You can pick me. You can pick, your mom, whoever, and live without any technology. Or would you rather spend life in jail and have one console or handheld of your choice?
Oh, shit.
That's tough, right?
Am I on the island forever? That's where I die?
This is it. You're living in this island now. It's a deserted island. It's just you and one other person. You're gonna either rebuild the world, or you're just gonna die alone.
I'm gonna pick the island. Can I take a freaking mobile console with me? Can I take a handheld with me, or no?
If you're in the deserted island, you can't have any technology.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll do that. I'll do the desert island. I'm not
Really?
doing. I'm not doing the jail. No, fuck that.
You're not
People
doing
gonna
life in jail.
People are gonna stab me for the fucking console. I'm gonna get fucking stabbed. No.
You can bring Binge. You can bring Binge to the deserted island.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Binge.
True.
Yeah, I'll bring Binge. We're gonna go to desert island. All right. It's gonna be a good time. We'll make our own Nintendo Wii U.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of sand. We'll do it.
How are you gonna live? At least in jail, I'm fed. I mean, you can make alliances with people.
You gotta hunt. That's what you do. You learn how to hunt.
Not everyone's up for that. Not everyone's up to the task to hunt.
Spear some fish. Come on, man.
I mean,
I've watched way too many movies where I'm like, I'm not doing the jail thing. I'm not doing it.
I've seen. I would probably, if I had the chance. I don't know, but then what are you gonna do in a deserted island, dude? Like,
we're gonna do in jail.
Play the games.
For like an hour every day, maybe.
And work out. I'll be buff.
You just die. Who are you working out for?
For myself, just see how long I can live.
Be buff for no reason. Yeah, that's good.
Hey, man.
Yeah, I'm picking the island. Obviously, you're picking the jail, but I'm picking the island.
I feel like I picked the jail because in the deserted island, if I pick
Your boy ain't dying in jail.
Damn. All right.
So
You're with Benj there. Benj says, nah, deserted island for sure.
Real life Minecraft. There you go. Yes, see?
That's fair.
Hunt for mines. But yeah, that's
all
good
right.
one.
Well, guys, let us know what you would pick. It looks like the choice is mostly the deserted island. I would probably pick the latter, but it is what it is. Rob, episode 91 is finished. Anything you have to say before we leave?
No. Thanks again to Bench for chiming in today and guest hosting on the podcast. Congratulations to you. And I hope you get some sleep. I sincerely.
Quite a few times already. Just within the hour and 10 minutes that we've been recording, I've heard, Cirilla scream. So I highly doubt it, but it's worth a shot.
I'm wishing it for you. So
Thank you.
I'll be doing Comic-Con this weekend. So I'll be sure to report back when we come back for the show. And yeah, that's about all I got.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, Benj, thank you again for chiming in. Guys, again, follow us on thegamingduopod.com and on social media of your choice. Also, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can follow us there. Again, thank you guys for chiming in, and we'll see you guys next time.
Good night.